REKT Podcast is brought to you by Honey Miner. Want to start mining, but never had the technical skills or time? Honey Miner is the answer. Honey Miner is a one-click install mining software that downloads directly to your computer and earns you Bitcoin. No more writing scripts or configurations. Just download the desktop app and start mining immediately. What are you waiting for? Go to honeyminer.com and start earning Bitcoin while you sleep today. That's honeyminer.com, on Twitter at GetHoneyMiner, and Telegram at t.me/honeyminer. Should have peed before we started.
You can go ahead. Well, it's not a big deal.
No, it's all right. I like to hold it in.
I want to use that as the open.
It's risky.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu Betts alongside my trusted companion and co-host, Crypto Chamber. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. What day is it? It's Tuesday? It's a good day.
Tuesday.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good Tuesday. Monday's done with. You got Halloween tomorrow. I guess when this comes out, it will be Halloween.
It will be Halloween. So happy Halloween to everyone out there in the crypto podcasting space. Chamber, you want to talk a little bit about your Halloween costume?
I sure do. So I have a little daughter. She's 5 years old. And we, since she's probably been about 2 years old, I've taken her out trick-or-treating every year. Last couple of years, I've decided I wanted to dress up too, because a lot of times I'm walking with her, I get strapped with like other parents that want to walk with me and talk with me, and I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm not a people person, so I wanted to be kind of solo when I'm doing these things. So I started dressing up in like,
You aren't a people person?
Not a people person, no.
Really?
But I'm a people person for work, and I'm pleasant on the podcast, and that uses up all of my pleasantness for the day.
Right.
So when I'm outside of either work or podcasting, I'm quite the curmudgeon. So last year I dressed up like Jason Voorhees, and yesterday I was getting some stuff at Home Depot, and I found this mask. And for those of you guys who are familiar with the movie Creep and/or Creep 2, it's a Mark Duplass movie where he's just basically a murderer, and he's got this horrific wolf head as a mask that he uses, and it's absolutely terrifying. I found something not identical to it, but pretty similar, I would say, that allows my mouth to move and talk, and it's definitely off-putting. So I'm going to wear that.
It's off-putting for sure.
So I'm going to wear that around tomorrow with my daughter, and hopefully not be bothered by any of the other adults out there. And I usually just stand at the end of the parking, or at the end of the driveway while my daughter goes up to get candy, and I just silently wave at the people in hopes that my daughter gets more candy.
Right, well, because you're big and scary, and
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan. So I was walking around with it last night. I was mentioning it before the show.
Was that on your Twitter or was that on the REKT Twitter?
I put it on my Twitter.
Okay, we gotta put something out on ours.
We'll do something tomorrow too. I'm sure it'll be fun.
All right.
When the day this comes out. But yeah, I was walking around with it last night, and my wife was reading books to my daughter, and they both fell asleep, and my other daughter was already asleep. So I'm just walking around the house with this like creepy wolf mask on. And I'm like, I'm going to wake up my wife because she fell asleep. And I went into the room, and I was so worried that I was going to wake up my daughter, because if my daughter woke up, it would have been game over. Like years of, psycho analyzing and, medical bills. But yeah, I just woke up my wife, and she almost yelled out loud, but she managed to keep it in. So should be pretty fun tomorrow.
Fantastic. So we have Chamber as the Wolf of Cryptopia, as I've dubbed him so
love it.
lovingly
I like
yesterday
that
when
one.
I saw that. So the Wolf of Cryptopia is here, and he is here to strike fear in the hearts of parents around the world and homeowners. They better give his daughter some extra candy. Now, a couple things here. One, I can't believe somebody else knows of the movie Creep, because I feel like that's a pretty
That's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut. It totally is a deep cut, and it's a really weird movie.
I love it though. I
Me too.
recommend that. I recommend that to non-horror movie fans. I said you can watch that, and it's
not like super. I wouldn't even know if I would classify it as like a horror movie.
It's more of a thriller.
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah.
So like I'm in the midst of watching the last Insidious movie. And it's like, that's a horror movie. That's like jump scares but yeah, Creep is good. Creep is a solid movie.
It is creepy. It lives up to the name though.
Yeah.
And Mark Duplass is freaking creepy in it. So
He sure is.
Second thing, so you said you've been going trick or treating with your daughter since she was about 2. Now, 2 questions, I guess, 2-part questions. One is, what's the age that she'll probably end up going by herself?
Good question, because I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to be honest.
Right. I mean, I bet you. I'm sure you are. You're just like a big kid,
Yeah.
And then second question: how old is too old to go trick or treating?
All right.
Sans kids, like obviously,
yeah.
If you have kids, you get a free pass until your kids are of age that they can go by themselves. So, what do you think?
So I would probably say, like, once she wants to start going with her friends, like that's when I'm off the case. I'm like a pack of kids going together. I feel is safe enough. So I don't know. What is that? 8 or 9 years old, I would guess.
Yeah, probably.
Like that's
so
what
you
I'm
got
thinking.
a couple more years.
Whenever she says, "Dad, you're embarrassing me," I don't want to embarrass her. So as soon as she says, "Dad, you're embarrassing me," I'm done. Like you got this. But as far as the second part of your question, how old is too old? The reason I like going with her so much is I was a monstrosity as a child. I was a real life monster. I grew at an exceptional rate. I actually stopped growing when I was like 14 or 15 years old. So I've been this tall for like ever. I've been like 6'4" since I was like 14, 15 years old.
I still am shocked that you're 6'4".
Yeah,
because every time I see you, you're sitting
down. Yeah. So yeah. So now I'm just like I'm tall, but I'm just like normal tall. When I was a child, it was freakish.
You were a monster. Yeah.
I was a monster, and one year I want to say I was in grade 5. Or we say grade 5 in Canada, so it'd be the 5th grade in the U.S.
5th grade, yeah.
Yeah.
The grade that's after the 4th.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that in the U.S. you guys don't say like grade 5. You said 5th grade.
Yeah.
So I think we go back and forth here in Canada, but yeah. So I don't know how old you are. You're pretty young. Maybe that age. Maybe like 8.
5th grade. You're about 10, I think.
Yes.
At least here.
So yeah, I think it's probably about the same. So I was probably 9 or 10. And I was trick-or-treating, and a lady would not give me any candy. She says I was too old.
Because you were so huge?
I was huge. I looked like I was 14 years old.
But I was trick-or-treating even at 14.
Yeah, no. So
I trick-or-treated till I was like 17.
Good. I wish. So at that age, whatever that age that is, like 9 years old,
candy, bro,
I was emotionally crippled.
What's that?
I was going to say at that age, so at 8 or 9, whatever it was, she told me she wasn't going to give me. I basically ran home crying. I was emotionally crippled, and I never went trick-or-treating after that.
Oh, my God. So you're reliving your childhood
Yeah,
now.
so getting, dressing up like a monster and walking around with my daughter is definitely, catching up to some of those missed moments.
Awesome. Let us know on Twitter how old is too old to trick-or-treat.
But I think 12 should be your last. Like, once you become a teen... Like 13 is too old, I would say. I think 12 should be your last year.
I was pushing way older than that. We used to go in high school, and so.
That being said, though, like I think just because of what happened to me, like I'll see kids, late at night, and you can tell they're 14 or 15. I'm definitely still giving out candy to those kids.
Right, of course.
Like I'm never telling you you're too old.
Yeah, right. If they come to your door, they're getting candy. Like that's
absolutely.
the rules. So
the better costume, the more candy I give out too.
You're like your own personal judge, jury, and
100%.
You're like, you get one piece because
you come with weak sauce, like with a hoodie or something.
Right? No, yeah, fuck that guy.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, you come hard to Chambers' house, or you don't come at all. That's it. Anyway, so moving on, just a couple housekeeping things. Our good friends at Honey Miner, we want to remind you they are doing a GPU giveaway, which is pretty cool. It's running from now till November 16th, so you got a couple weeks left to enter. They're giving away a NVIDIA 1080 Ti and a Vega 64. How to enter: go follow at GetHoneyMiner on Twitter, retweet and like their tweet, and tag 3 of your friends. Coolest part about it is if you tag one of your friends and they win, but you tag them first, you also win, which is pretty cool. So shout out to them at Honey Miner. That's a pretty cool giveaway. So we want to keep reminding you of that if you haven't entered. We also have a brand new sponsor to the show, our good friends at Beaksy Exchange. We are very excited about the launch of this exchange. It's being tagged as the Binance Killer, which will be pretty interesting to see. Beaksy Exchange is the upcoming crypto exchange built in collaboration with One Market Data, bringing legacy finance speed, power, and sophistication to crypto for the first time. It has 225,000 transactions per pair per second, comparable to NASDAQ. 15 different order types on day one, with 25 different types on full rollout, and dedicated customer support team. And that's going to set them apart from the competition here. So check out Beaksy at Beaksy.com. Pre-register at Beaksy.com/registration to win some free trading trial and a cut of some Beaksy tokens. They're also doing their referral program giveaway, which is pretty cool. And you get bonus if you pass their KYC, which Chamber and I have both done. So we're getting, I'm trying to rack up those referral points, Chamber.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
For some Beaksy. So
I love a good referral program.
Yeah, you sure do. You will give any referral link that comes your way.
As long as it's free.
Shamelessly plug all your ref links. But anyway, so shout out to our friends at Beaksy. They're going to be on the show in a couple weeks to talk about the exchange. We're really excited about it. It looks awesome. I've been in a couple of those like private beta presentations that they've done, and it
so
looks
have I.
Pretty. Yeah. Yeah, you had your daughter screaming at the time in the presentation. That was pretty awesome. So
missed
anyway,
most of it, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, and then she came on and I yelled at you to mute your anyway,
rightfully so.
And last thing before we get going any further, please like us on iTunes, rate us, review us, subscribe, help us grow, please. We are trying out here. We out here hustling.
Yeah, we're definitely hustling. If nothing else, we're hustling.
We're hustling. We were saying yesterday that, you know, we only put the show out 2 times a week, but all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, it's like a second full-time job. So we out here hustling. Help us grow if you like us. 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews if you hate us. But anyway, other than that, let's rock and roll. Let's get to the news. Chamber, what do you have for us? Both of these news stories involve you and
directly affected. So the first one, it's funny. I'll set it up a little bit. Yesterday, earlier in the morning, I was on Twitter. I usually have a pulse on what's happening.
On Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. What's happening in the Twitter sphere. And everybody was kind of complaining about like the red day that they were having, and alts were pulling back, and we had the little down can, like $100 or $150 down candle with Bitcoin, and I kept looking at mine like, oh, I'm set, I'm still good. Like I had some bags that were still rocking.
I'm a genius. I'm like on top.
Fucking dumb people on Twitter
can't trade worth bullshit.
Yeah, can't trade worth a shit. And then, so maybe about an hour after that thought, I check my app again, and I'm down significantly. Well, not significantly, but I would say 7% on the day, pretty significantly. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I'm trying to find the culprit, and sure enough, my bag of oyster pearl PRL took a shit. And I went investigating right away. Thank goodness. So I don't know if you guys knew this or not. A lot of shilling was happening the week prior on PRL.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah. So when I see that, I sold about half my bag late last week.
So that's a red flag for you.
That's a red flag. When I see people like, this is a no-brainer, and then I'm like, oh, here we go. And you could just tell by the chart, it was looking pretty oversold or overbought, I should say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I sold half my bag, but I still had it was a good, I had a big chunk of my. It was a big bag, we'll put it that way, but sold half of it, so it became a medium-sized bag.
Right.
And yeah, it took a hit. It dropped, I think, 60% yesterday.
So what happened?
So what happened was, after searching around, there was somebody that had made 3 million tokens. So a little background, and to be honest, guys, you got to do your own research when you come to buy things. And I know everybody wants to have a ton of bags, and I know it's very difficult to do research on every single bag that you hold. But here's just a little something that I learned after the fact.
My God! Wait, this is I want to insert right here the more you know drop.
Absolutely,
this is a perfect time for it.
Just letting people in on what I go through on a daily basis. So I did not know this, but the creator of the Oyster Pearl platform, his name was Bruno Block. I actually thought that was a real guy. Turns out completely anonymous.
It's not Bruno Mars's cousin?
No, exactly. Not Bruno Mars's cousin. So this guy was an anonymous, the gentleman that created this. And
so he could be Satoshi for all we know.
It could be Satoshi. That is very possible. But when he created this platform, had put a backdoor in it, and it was for. He had given this reason that it was because he wanted to make sure that if things did happen, he could go back in and fix things, and basically allowed the directorship to basically stay open. And he went in and flipped the switch back to ICO and created 3 million more tokens at ICO price, and flipped those to KuCoin and market sold them, and walked away with about $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I say it dropped 60%, it's because this guy dropped, $300,000 worth of tokens, or 3 million tokens, on the site.
Wow.
Hurt a little bit. So what they're doing is, the guy that we're talking about, he's been kind of off of the project for the last half year, and they have a CEO and all that fun stuff. So what they're doing is they're going to hard fork it to before that transaction, and repay, or kind of reset the clock on that.
But does the guy still walk away with $300K or what?
The guy still walks away with $300K.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so trading is closed on KuCoin and IDEX, from what I understood. So I can't trade out of it. I'm just kind of hold and see what's happening. Thank goodness I sold a good chunk of it last week.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it could have hurt even more. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's dirt cheap right now, so hopefully once they sort everything out, they'll.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said I got two tweets here on the issue from our good friend at Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan says, update on the issue from Oyster Protocol. Seems that the bad actor was able to reissue PRL to market sell on KuCoin for $300,000. They have plans to reissue 1-to-1 prior to the exploit, and that Bruno Block did this prior to KuCoin KYC implementation.
That's what I couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
If he market sold yesterday, like I couldn't figure out that one point where they were saying this was done prior to KuCoin's
Well,
KYC.
He must have been grandfathered in. Do you have to do KYC now if you open a KuCoin account?
I did KYC after the fact. So I had a KuCoin account, and then they were asking to do KYC, but I think I did it voluntarily before it's mandatory.
He might not have had to do such a thing. And then the other thing that Dirty Dan says, if you're analyzing crypto smart contracts, here are some red flags to look for. Any function that can freeze specific addresses, any function that can just mint new tokens out of the blue, or any function that will halt the entire network. So this sounds like it was an issue of being able to mint new tokens.
Yeah, so because that directorship, availability switch was still active, he could go in and basically turn on the ICO function and create more tokens at ICO price.
That's crazy. I wish I had an ICO function.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a pretty bad news story.
Yeah, and I was it's so funny because I was so impressed with my trading abilities prior to learning
literally an hour before.
Literally, might have been less than that. But yeah, definitely within the hour.
We go from bad to worse here, though. This happened a couple days ago now by the time you hear this coming out. Newsflash, Canadian Bitcoin exchange hacked, says all the funds are gone. So nothing SAFU about this exchange. Maple Change, out of our great friends over at Canada. Chamber, is this exchange located in a basement down the street from you, or
no?
What?
I think they're out of Alberta, which is
they are out of Alberta. Where is Alberta in relation?
So it would be the equivalent if I'm in. We'll say that if I go directly south, I'm in Ohio, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So if you live there, it would be like Montana.
Oh, okay. So not too far. Yeah.
Far enough though.
Far enough. Yeah, for sure. So this small Bitcoin exchange in Alberta, Canada has gone offline. Maple Change had announced on Twitter that they had no more funds to pay anyone back. So this is a very small... Have you ever heard of this exchange?
I had never heard of this exchange, no.
I keep calling it Maple Syrup Exchange or whatever because I've never heard of it either. I didn't know anybody who had ever used it, but... The Maple Change Twitter account only had about 2,000 followers, so you could put that into perspective on, what their either daily volume or active users were like. 2,000 followers on their Twitter account. Coinbase has 1 million followers on Twitter, and CCEX exchange has 100,000 followers, so you can kind of see, how small it is. But they tweeted out, due to a bug, some people have managed to withdraw all the funds from our exchange. We are in the process of a thorough investigation for this. We are extremely sorry that it has come to an end like this. Until the investigation is over, we cannot refund anything. So a couple weird things about that tweet. A couple. So this has all the signs of a good old-fashioned exit scam.
Sure does.
What happened here after this was, okay, so say you're hacked, right? Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you would do if you were running this exchange, Chamber?
If I was running it, I would have already exit scammed by now. These people are late to the game. I would have exit scammed in January.
Okay, but if you were running it as a reputable
business,
you would probably reach out to people on all your social media platforms.
Absolutely, yeah. Complete transparency.
Right. Let people know what the hell is going on. Basically, reduce all the panic that would be going on. This exchange took a different approach. They deleted all of their social media. They deleted their Telegram.
Shut everything down, did they?
Their Telegram, their Discord, and they eventually deleted their Twitter, but their Twitter has now since come back online. So the basically it after an hour after they announced this bug or so, an hour or two, they deleted all their social media accounts. And then
Jeez.
just in this tweet alone, it says very cryptically, "We are extremely sorry that it has to come to an end like this." Not, hey, we're going to work to fix this and whatever, like, some of these other exchanges have done in the past. But it says it's come to an end. So, okay, they already know it's over. They already know it's over. The other thing here, the domain was registered at GoDaddy by someone called Flavius P.
That's, what's weird? What's weird? You know who does live in Alberta? Our young
dirty bastard?
No. Well, yeah. No. Prince from the Crypto Street pod. And you said what was the handle for the
Flavius P?
P, like the letter P,
the
letter
Prince.
like Prince.
It could be
interesting.
It could be Flavius Prince.
I'm just upset that Prince didn't bring me into this, this debacle. I would have loved to have been a team member on this exit scam.
So headline we'll read tomorrow: Prince from Crypto Street Podcast exit scams exchange. Yeah. He's gonna love that.
Yeah.
By the way, Prince and I were involved in a very, very close back and forth fantasy football matchup this weekend. That
guy's a degenerate just like you.
Did
you win?
I dubbed a pillow fight because it was a pretty ugly matchup.
Was it?
So he ended up beating me with his kicker last night on Monday Night Football, and I was none so pleased. So
I'm not a big fan of kickers.
No, I hate kickers. I hate them. But so Prince's kicker beat me by 2 points. So shout out Prince for now being rich because of this exit scam and also beating me in fantasy football. And the other thing with this exchange was people. So tell me, what was the deal with their amount of Bitcoin they said they were holding?
So there was something that came out. I don't know if it was in news articles or what, but basically the word out there is that they had like over 900 Bitcoin, going through their exchange. And then they tweeted out, was it on Sunday? When did they tweet out? Oh, wrong article. They tweeted out on the 29th, so yesterday, that we have never had 919 BTC in our wallet. The picture that displayed showed the volume abuse caused by the hackers. In reality, the exchange total volume was frequently under 2 Bitcoin.
So this is your exchange?
Yeah, it's actually. I'm like, I could float. I could float that kind of volume.
Float that.
Yeah, I could float that volume.
So, couple things here. Just because the volume was 2 Bitcoin doesn't mean they didn't have 900 Bitcoin.
That sounds like something I would say to refute the
right. Well, I mean, look, maybe they do. Maybe they have deposits from people with 900 Bitcoin worth of deposits, and then they just aren't actively trading.
Right.
Because trading volume and what you have in your storage is different. 2 different
things,
yeah. And then they also tweeted here, so there's another article that was from yesterday. It says, hacked, this is from CCN, our favorite place, hacked Canadian Bitcoin exchange Maple Change returns to Twitter, opens a refund chat room. So I guess what they're going to do now, all of a sudden they're back to life on, they've opened a Discord for refunds, and they came back to Twitter. Most people are speculating this is because the guy was pretty much doxxed within an hour of the guy that runs the exchange, and so he
turns out it wasn't Prince.
No, I guess it wasn't Prince, but so they said that we, in all caps, cannot refund any Bitcoin or Litecoin funds. Unfortunately, we will try our best to refund everything else. People are pissed. So should the aforementioned solution not work, we ask that you PM us your account and we'll do our best to sort you out. So then they opened a Discord for refunds. And this says, unfortunately, CCN was unable to investigate what if anything was being done in the chat room, as the link provided did not work for us at the time of writing.
Wow.
So that didn't even work. This says, according to Maple Change, the attackers were able to do trades worth about 15 Bitcoins, but were only able to withdraw about 8 Bitcoins. Okay, so then that also has a discrepancy between what it says they did and had. You know what I mean? So crazy. But anyway,
not a good look, Canada. Not a good look.
Not a good look for Canada. Not a good look for you. Not a good look for Prince.
Definitely not Prince.
But anyway, so that's. Again, I think the moral of the story here, do your own research. Make sure I was talking to my brother about this, and we were talking about how I haven't even heard of some of these exchanges. Like when we do the No FOMO segment, and we're like, oh, where can you find this coin? And it's like things that I'd never heard of in a million years. And look, I understand that you might have to go on some non-popular exchanges to, maybe find some gem that you like or whatever. But do it safely. Get your coins off of there as fast as you can. Store them offline. Do anything you can to take your exposure for stuff like this to a bare minimum. Nobody wants to let other people lose their money.
Right.
like if I'm going to lose money, at least let it be my fault.
Let me earn it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Let me lose my old stack trading rather than, something like this. But this just kind of goes to show you need to be able to trust where your coins are being stored. So, use these big reputable exchanges. I think Beaksy, as we talked about before, is going to be one of the new big boys in town. They're pretty reputable, obviously, and very legit. So that's going to be. I'm excited to be able to use that when it.
I agree. Like that's something. Pretty impressive. I think that's gonna be coming out.
Well, it's funny. I was just saying this too. I was talking to somebody and they're like, "You really think it could be as big as Binance?" And I said, "Binance opened just
Not
over a year ago. It opened in June 2017, and when it opened, people were like, "Oh, what's Binance? It's got to be it's going to be a scam. It's it's just this crazy Japanese exchange or whatever." And
even in November when I got into crypto, Binance wasn't Binance yet. Yes, I got a Binance account, but it wasn't Binance yet.
Right,
and that was November. Binance didn't become Binance, I'd say, until February, March.
Right,
where it kind of
you see all these things that Beaksy's going to be coming out with, and I think they're gonna rival old CZ over there. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Binance is kind of the benchmark, but there's a lot of other exchanges that it definitely leapfrog for sure.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Poloniex,
Bittrex, KuCoin,
the
Cryptopia.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty low bar. I'm a big fan of most of those, but I feel like it's a low bar to jump over.
You're the resident KuCoin lover of the
I sure am.
The podcast. Anyway, that's our news stories. We are going to go in honor of Halloween. We're going to go a little off crypto, and we are going to have the Halloween draft. So here's what we're going to do. Chamber and I are going to go back and forth and make our picks on the top. We're each going to pick 4 Halloween or horror movies. So are we sticking horror movies, or are we just saying Halloween movies?
That's a solid question. I'm going to say, that changes my perception. Yeah, we're going to say Halloween movies.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So anything spooky, anything, you know what I mean? We'll kind of open up a little bit.
But what about Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin? That doesn't count, right?
I would say it would have to have a minimum of a PG-13 rating.
Okay.
Is that fair?
But yeah, fine. That's good. So we're going to go, we're going to pick our favorites of all time, and we're going to do it draft style like we typically do. We'll put them out on a poll, and you guys can vote on whose selections were better, who you would rather spend Halloween watching movies with, and then share your own with us as well. Obviously, Chamber has the worst movie takes on all of crypto Twitter, so we will allow Chamber to go first.
All right. Number 1 pick.
Now, hold on. I do need to clarify this one more time.
Yes.
A horror movie is any horror movie would classify, right? It doesn't have to
I'm
be
probably
about
going horror.
Halloween.
No, exactly. Anything scary
Got it. Would count.
would count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Does not have to be Halloween themed.
Got it.
So with my first pick, I'm gonna go with my favorite. I was gonna go for the one that I think is gonna do the best, but I'm gonna go with the one I, in my heart, believe is the best scary movie, and that is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You actually were talking about this not too long ago.
That is the best, in my opinion, scary movie.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with a classic, and I'm gonna go with The Shining.
I'm gonna be honest with you, not a fan of The Shining.
Really?
Yeah, and I love Stanley Kubrick, big Kubrick fan. It's Kubrick movies in general that I can't get through. I can't get through them. They're hard.
I can see it.
Like you try to watch 2001: Space Odyssey. Like that's a tough movie to get through.
No, I'm with you. Or yes, I'm with you.
But unarguably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Right. So I'm taking it.
That's a good pick.
All right.
You get 2 picks.
Oh, right. I get to go back to back. Dang. Now, I'm going to go off the board here a little. This is one that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I'm not sure it's going to be like the, all-timer if you're, classifying it as like one of the greatest movies of all time, but it scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I'm going with The Ring.
Ooh, now are we going with Japanese Ringu or American The Ring?
No, American The Ring from the year 2002, the original.
That's a good movie.
Yeah,
there was some
it scared
good movies.
The shit out of me.
There was some good movies that came out right around that same time. I don't want to mention any, but maybe we'll have some honorable mentions at the end. Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. That is a scary effing movie.
So scary.
Yeah, totally. VHS is scary in general. Anything to do with a VHS tape.
Yes.
With my second pick, I'm going to go with The Exorcist.
Oh man, good one. That was that was going to be my third pick.
Again, just a classic movie. Part 2 was not great. For those of you guys, again, I'm a horror movie, quasi aficionado. So I got wrecked on my take that Halloween 3 was a great movie. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it's so a lot of people get upset when they rent it or watch it. They're like, oh, it's not even a Michael Myers movie. But as an aside, a very good movie. But part 3 of The Exorcist was very good as well. Not part 2, but Exorcist Part 3 is a solid movie.
Like the
so
Godfather.
with my third pick, I'm going one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's Beetlejuice.
Oh, that could be a winner right there. Beetlejuice. So my fiance loves Beetlejuice, and she just forced me to watch it the other day. And it was, I forgot how good it was.
So solid.
It's and weird.
I'm going on the record. Michael Keaton might be the greatest actor of all time. I'm just saying. Tell me a movie he's not amazing as.
Speaking of,
yes, I know where this is going.
Throwing the crypto back in here, Michael Keaton set to play Mr. John McAfee in the McAfee movie coming out. Apparently, Johnny Depp has been canned. Yeah, he's been canned. He got kicked off. I was watching something and reading something the other day. He got kicked off of the next Pirates movie too. The guy's falling apart. Have you seen the pictures lately? He had lost like 30, 40 pounds. He looks like he has AIDS. Like he's dying. Really?
I don't know if it's for a part or what. Like he looks like he's on death's door. So I hope he's not losing his marbles. But sometimes when you get that rich and famous, that tends to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he got
But
kicked
anyway,
off the next Pirates
Michael
movie.
Keaton. Michael Keaton.
That's the
going
pick right
to
there.
Be
He's going to be John McAfee?
He's going to be McAfee.
I love it.
And McAfee is psyched about it.
And isn't did I read that Seth Rogen's also in this movie?
Yeah, he's playing somebody too. I forget who, but he is. And so I have to see it.
I mean, this is going to be a movie.
This movie.
What I thought was pretty fun
the best part is, like, we've interviewed that guy. So
exactly.
So I think we get a producer's credit.
I think we do. I feel like Seth Rogen's going to call us to see what the interview was like originally. But if I ever meet Michael Keaton, that to me, I'd lose. I'd be more excited to meet Michael Keaton than I would Seth Rogen, I think.
Probably me too. But
like I think a lot of people would go Seth Rogen. Yeah, I would definitely
have a beer with. I'd probably have a beer. Rather have a beer with Seth Rogen though.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton, I would be starstruck. I think. I think it's pretty great. So it's your pick. You get 2 in a row. Pick,
I get 2. So I'm gonna round out my draft here.
Yeah.
I'm torn between a couple here. So I want to keep going. Like things that scared the crap out of me. So I'm gonna go. I guess I'm going a little more recent on these last couple of picks. Is that okay? Like I'm not picking classics.
We're gonna let the people decide.
How about The Babadook? Ever seen that?
Babadook is a great movie.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. I actually just rewatched it last week. I really liked it. It's actually like what it really is. It's the monster in Babadook is basically just the incarnation of depression. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like she's just depressed the whole time.
Right.
And it just manifests as a creepy monster.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's a solid movie though. Then
for the last one here, so I wasn't sure what I should do here, but I'm going. I have a feeling you're gonna not like this pick, but whatever. Sinister from 2012.
Again, solid movie, very scary. That's part of the Blumhouse movies family. If you're watching scary movies, at least recent ones, if they're not Blumhouse productions, get out of town. We were talking about Creep. We were talking about Creep earlier.
Yeah,
Creep and Creep 2, both Blumhouse movies. Like that, these are the best movies that are coming out right now.
That was a scary, very scary one.
Another one of my favorite actors in that, and I argue
Ethan
people
Hawke?
to tell me Ethan Hawke. You tell me a bad Ethan Hawke movie, and I'm going to call you a liar. Ethan Hawke puts out quality products. Okay, I'm a big Ethan Hawke fan.
All right, so rounding out my draft, I have The Shining, The Ring, Babadook, and Sinister, and you have one more pick.
That's a solid list. Yours is.
That's pretty good.
I got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, Beetlejuice.
Yours is good too.
And I'm gonna go fudge. I feel like some of my last picks are maybe a little bit more
off the wall.
Not too off the wall. Like they're great movies.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go with it.
You have such an opportunity to just take this thing
just to win. I don't want to win.
Don't go too off the rails here.
I don't want to win. I want to put out my best options, and I want to live or die by my best options. I'm gonna go with What We Do in the Shadows.
I don't even know what that movie is.
If you have not seen this is a great movie. It's not scary per se. This is the gentleman from I think we were talking about on a show previously with Brecky. It's the director is the guy that directed the last Thor movie, Ragnarok. Anyways, they're from New Zealand. It's not Brit from Flight of the Conchords. Jermaine Clement is in it.
Present.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So it's Jermaine. Taiwa Waititi is the other guy that's in it. He's the director. Also is in it. It's about vampires, basically a colony of vampires in Wellington, New Zealand, and their day-to-day activities. It's hilarious and extremely well done. And if you haven't seen it, What We Do in the Shadows is a must-watch. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. Any honorable mentions here?
Honorable mentions.
So my close one on the fourth was I was gonna go with one that's like straight up gory, scary. Saw and the whole Saw series.
Series is there's nothing wrong with that series. That's a solid series.
Yeah, I mean, Saw 1 probably my favorite of all of them. But also, real quick aside on Saw, have you ever seen the YouTube videos Living with Jigsaw?
No. Actually,
oh my god.
Maybe that is it funny?
Yes, it's
I think I have
hilarious.
seen it. I think I have seen it.
It's this guy, he just makes this video about what it would be like to live with Jigsaw, and it's so funny, and I'll tweet a link out to that cuz it's fantastic. Those were my honorable mentions because I almost picked them in my draft. So what about you?
My honorable mention, the last one, I was going back and forth between What We Do in the Shadows, which is a newer movie. I believe it's on Netflix, by the way, so you should watch it. And the other one was Black Christmas. If you haven't seen Black Christmas yet, it's the original. So before Jason, before Michael Myers, before Freddy, Black Christmas came out, and it's filmed in Canada. The director is the same director that filmed not A Christmas Carol. Shit. I can't think of it now. What's the Christmas movie where the kid licks the flagpole?
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. He directed both movies in the same year, and it was the original stalker watching you, like that point of view where Jason's watching you in the woods. Yep. This was the original. It's called Black Christmas. It's a classic movie, must watch. And the other one, in my honorable mentions, I just watched it the other day. One of my horror movie buddies had mentioned it to me. There is a fan film on YouTube called Never Hike Alone, and it is extremely well done. I've never watched fan movies before, but it's a Friday the 13th movie. Basically, it's so good, I include it as the newest Friday the 13th movie. It's an hour long, budget of about $17,000, so a big enough budget for a movie that they're not making any money on. Right. Extremely well done. It's on YouTube for free. Never Hike Alone. Fantastic.
Some other big ones that we may get in our mentions that we missed here: Psycho, Halloween, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, It, The Conjuring, Cabin in the Woods, Rosemary's Baby, Blair Witch Project.
That was one of the one I was going to mention is Blair Witch. When you mentioned
Silence of the Lambs, Silence of the Lambs was on there that we missed. Get Out is on this list. Have you seen that?
Get Out's a solid movie, but again, more of a thriller, I would say.
Yeah, me too. Poltergeist, shout out to our boy Daniel Gutierrez from Coin Boys, big Poltergeist guy.
Yeah, big Poltergeist
guy. The Others, Hellraiser.
Others and Hellraiser.
Carrie, Omen.
Omen's solid.
Yeah, so those are some other ones that are on a list here that... we left off.
Out of the big ones, what do you like? I always consider the big ones to be Halloween, the Halloween series, the Friday the 13th series, and the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Which one of those three is your favorite?
I'm probably a Halloween guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely more Friday the 13th. I like
okay.
I like Jason. I'm a big fan.
Interesting. All right.
That's pretty good.
That's our Halloween extravaganza here for our horror movie drafts for Halloween. We are going to now do a segment called Would You Rather?
Now we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
So Chamber, we've been toying with this segment for a while, and I finally thought of some Would You Rathers here. So I'm going to give them to you. You're going to answer. Talk me through your process.
All right.
And I will also give you my answer. All right?
Okay. All right.
So the first one here, we got Would You Rather. We're also going to put these out on Twitter polls as well, so you guys can answer the questions. Would you rather have 10,000 Bitcoin, but only 1 hour to spend it, or 500 Bitcoin, but you can spend it at your leisure?
So when you say spend it,
you have to spend it all.
So like my original thought was I'm just gonna flip that into fiat and hold, and then just
No,
keep
can't
that.
do it. Got to
do that,
spend
okay.
it on goods or services.
No, I take the second option.
You would take 500 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
but spend it at your leisure. Is that what you're going with here?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, because you can hold it, you can do whatever you want with it, you can reinvest it. Who knows what the price of Bitcoin is going to be in 5 or 10 years from now.
So that's about $3 million. A little over $3 million. So versus, you have 10,000, let's say 6,200, or $62 million that you can spend in an hour
Right now, or yeah, it's tough. That's a tough call.
I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you because I don't think you can actually spend that much money in an hour. Like,
you could just buy properties, I guess.
But can you get it done in an hour?
I guess not, right? Like multiple properties.
I'd love to see like the Amazon order.
Yeah. No, I'd go. Yeah, I think I'd go 500.
500. I think
Yeah.
I'm also going 500. So both of us are going 500 Bitcoin. Spend it at your leisure. Okay. Question number 2 here. Would you rather? Now this one's interesting to me. Would you rather never have any fiat again, or never have any crypto again? So never have any fiat, or never have any crypto.
I wouldn't really be a crypto podcaster if
Oh,
I sold out like that, eh?
But that sounds like you're leaning fiat.
I'm just thinking it through. I'm just thinking it out. I'm thinking it out loud. I have a family to provide for. like 5-10 years from now, it might be a different story. But no more fiat right now.
Yeah.
Only crypto.
Yep.
I gotta go fiat.
So you're saying you would rather never have crypto again? Is the answer correct?
Fudge. Or never. That's so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what these are for.
I think so. I think never have crypto again.
I'm going the other way.
I got to keep my family alive.
Yeah, but I'm going the other way, and here's why. Because you could do everything you can do with fiat with crypto.
Can I though? Can I pay my bills? Can I pay the electric company?
You absolutely can. I have a Shift card, and the Shift card connects to my Coinbase, and it debits it. It works as a debit card, and it debits it right out of my.
But if you're
debits it right out of my account.
I feel like that's like you're converting it to fiat though for that company.
They're doing it. I'm not. I'm
right. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm using it as money. I'm using
totally.
Bitcoin. I'm using Bitcoin.
That makes sense.
I'm holding Bitcoin.
I changed my answer. I want one of those cards.
I don't know if they're available in Canada, but I have.
I don't know.
It's called the Shift. It's called a Shift card, and it's literally a Visa. It's a Visa card.
Yep.
And it connects to my Coinbase, and I can spend it like I do anything else.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's so.
Shift,
I'm choosing.
Send me a card.
Yeah, because Shift's listening. So I'm going never have fiat again. I don't see what I couldn't do with it. The only thing would be if I needed to have cash for whatever reason. Who's using cash these days? Somebody asked me for cash the other day. I'm like, I laughed in their face. I'm like, what? All right, last one here. Now, this one, I feel like I'm going to answer differently than you. Would you rather be given 1 Bitcoin for doing absolutely nothing? So literally, you're just
given a Bitcoin. Here's a Bitcoin.
Here's a Bitcoin, right?
$6,000.
Or 10 Bitcoin for correctly guessing a number between 1 and 5. So
1 and 5. So you get a 20%.
So essentially, you have a 20% chance to 10x that exact same amount of money.
I'm pretty reckless.
Oh, you really? I thought you were gonna go the other way on this because
a 20% shot. That's like obviously the number's 3. So that would win. Yeah, no, I mean it's not a huge difference, right? We're talking about like basically getting $6,000 or 60 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely go for it's 6. I mean, yeah, $6,000 is a lot.
But if you guess and you get wrong, you get nothing.
Then you don't get $6,000. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
I could live with that.
But then think, you also used in your other argument that you never know what Bitcoin's going to be worth someday. So
right.
So you could potentially.
I feel I'll make up the one Bitcoin in my amazing trading abilities.
Puro. All right, so we're gonna do. I'm choosing also to take the chance on the 20% guess.
That's a good odd.
Here's what we're gonna do. You write down a number, and I'm gonna write down a number between 1 and 5.
All right.
You're gonna guess mine. I'm gonna guess yours.
I just said a number.
Yeah, well, don't guess that one. So you have a 25% chance. So you actually even have better odds now. So let's see. Let's put it to the test. Are you going to? So what number are you going to pick to win 10 Bitcoin and forego the 1 Bitcoin if you get it wrong?
2.
5 is the answer. 5 was the answer. So Chamber misses.
That's all right. I have to rely on my ability to trade.
I'm going to guess 4.
That's what I picked.
Yes! Yes! 10 Bitcoin for Bunchu.
Nice.
So we'll put up these polls also for Twitter.
Can I have a Bitcoin, by the way?
No, you cannot because you chose poorly. All
right, fair enough.
Actually, I mean, you chose right. I did the same thing. I just got it right. So, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what other people think if the 20% shot is worth the opportunity cost. Now, what would you say if I said, 3 Bitcoin?
Versus
would it
1?
Change? Yeah. What's the spot
1.
where you take the money for doing that?
5x is probably where like anything over 5. I would take the bet.
Anything over 5 what? Anything over 5 Bitcoin?
So if it was 5 Bitcoin or less, I would take the 1 Bitcoin. If it was 6 or more Bitcoin, I would take my opportunity to guess the number.
Got it. Okay. So anyway, that's our Would You Rather. Send us in your crypto Would You Rathers. We will play these as many as we can think of. I love doing these. So if you're out there listening and have a good one that we could do for crypto, even if it's not crypto, send them in. Send us to them on a tweet or in Telegram, and we will do them. They are lots of fun. So that's going to do it for our segments. I think we have the REKT Index update.
Brutal, savage, REKT.
Chamber,
yes,
hit me.
We do. So a little bit of a, we made some pretty big moves last week, and considering we've had a little bit of a pullback, we're still doing all right. For the year, we're up almost 25% in BTC value.
That's really good. That's pretty good.
100%.
I will take a 25% BTC. That's what I'm thinking, right? In a bear market.
So we're in Ethereum value. We're up 125%.
Poor Ethereum.
And in USD,
at the time of this recording, Ethereum is under $200, I believe.
I think so.
Let me look real quick. Keep going.
In USD, we're up 17.3%.
Wow. Look at us.
Doing all right.
On the backs of Quant.
On the backs of Quant, indeed.
And Raven.
Quant, Raven, Tomo, Bat are the big winners there, I would say.
It's probably getting time to sell some of our
Quant.
Yeah. I mean, at least some of it. Now we're talking 13x range. We gotta lock in some of those profits.
Let it roll. No.
I mean, look, you could be right, but we gotta lock in something.
I agree. We gotta lock in something.
I mean,
we're up.
It's 8x since we had our first argument.
Yeah. No,
So
I
you were-
agree.
you
I even
were
messaged you the other day. I'm like, we should probably take some profit here.
So yeah, Ethereum is at $196.63. So.
Jeepers, I'm gonna buy some.
With
Steal
all
of a deal at twice the price.
with all that quant money, we can.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is going to do it for us for Crypto Chamber. I am Bunchu Bets. Thank you for listening to REKT Podcast. And as always, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.